Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader, and wow, this is a really wrinkly t-shirt, ignore that. But anyway, hello. Today's video is going to be a review on this book right here. I'll bring her over so you can see. The Introverted Reader book club pick for the month of April was A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. Now I realize you're thinking, Katie, it's like the 7th of April. Why are you doing this now? Because one, I started this early and I finished it just at the start of the month there because it's my book club and I can do what I like. And also, I need to get the review out early because then I will forget. I will forget things and I don't want to do that. So I finished this and I'm going to review it. I will try and keep this as spoiler free as I possibly can, but I'll give you a warning beforehand if I want to discuss something. So I shall leave that there. Okay, it's been a while since I've had a paperback, so hopefully I'll just back a wee bit so I can just lean against the other one. Okay, you stay there. Anyway, so let's all have a drink. We've got some Diet Coke here. I do have my water over there, which I have been drinking as well, so we can have a treat every now and then. But anyway, so this book right here is a fantasy story about our girl called Vasily, and she has been in prison for the last like 2 years, right? Because she was framed for murder, right? She was framed for murder. She knows she didn't commit this murder. The king knows that the land she lives in, knows that she didn't commit this murder, but he sends her away to prison anyway. And she is heartbroken by this because she was like a dancer for the king. He brought her in and she was like his favorite. She was known as, the king's jewel. And in her mind, they had a beautiful relationship. There's nothing really romantic hinted, anything between the two of them. He never engaged in anything in that way. Like, she looked at him as like one of her best friends, almost like family. And for that to happen to her, she's extremely heartbroken, and her body is completely mangled when she comes out of jail. Now, the whole disability rep is Own Voices, because Brittany herself suffers from various disabilities that don't allow her body to move, and operate the way it normally should. But that is Brittany's story to tell, not mine. But there is an author's note at the beginning of this, which I highly recommend that you all read. If you hear anything outside, someone is doing something outside. Anyway, ignore that. Anyway, so she's been in prison for 2 years. And anyway, so there's one day, the king has her brought out of jail and basically says to her that there's going to be this huge gathering of all the different monarchs of all the different kingdoms, and they're all going to be gathering in this one place. And basically what he wants from her is for her to spy on the other monarchs and other officials that are there, and to give him information on these people. And he's like, if the information that you give me is good, like if I approve of what you give me, then he says that he will set her free, that she won't be thrown back in jail after, which I did not believe for a minute when I was reading this, I'll tell you. Sorry, my throat gets so dry when I talk phrases. But anyway, so yeah, that is the basic premise of this. And, overall, she was fine. It was fine. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. It wasn't anything like, but like, it was really easy to read, easy to follow. I definitely felt a lot for Vasily in this because she lost everything, and she didn't have the best upbringing. I would recommend looking up trigger warnings before you get into this, because there's a lot of stuff that she went through with her father in particular. So yes, be wary of the trigger warnings to go with that. So anyway, she has a lot of like trauma, you know, from all of that. And, you know, and going in there because like I said at the beginning, the premise is that her body is basically ruined from being in prison for so long and not using it, you know, in the way that she used to when she was a dancer. So obviously she can't move as fast, you know, she can't do certain things, and there's all talk by that and stuff. And you know, with all of that, you feel for her. You really, really do. Like you definitely have sympathy for her. Um Again, it was fine. It was okay. In the end, I gave this like a good solid 4 stars. Like it was fine. Um Not much was really going on for the most of it. Is this young adult? I think so. I think so. Like, I mean, our main character is like, I want to say like 19, almost like 20 years old or something like that. Maybe she's in her 20s. I don't know. It's not really said like how old she is, but I think she's meant to be like 20 something. Which is a little bit hard to believe because this read very YA to me, if I'm being honest with you. And I think maybe that was what kind of threw me off, because I feel like if it was written more, um, written a little bit more adult, you know, like I feel like it would have been a little bit better, because it felt very, I don't want to say immature, but it just felt like our protagonist, it felt like one of those situations where, you know, where you're reading from a main character where they're saying like, oh, I'm 24 or I'm 25, but whenever you're reading them, you feel like you're reading through the lens of a teenager. Even though they say they're in their 20s, they talk and think as if they're still in their teen years. Am I making any sense? That's that what it feels like? That is what it kind of felt like. And there is romance in this, which again was fine. I thought it was cute. Well, actually, there's actually no, I'll not give anything away. But yeah, there's a little bit of a romance in this, and like I said, I thought it was cute. You know, I thought the way they you know bantered with each other and talked to each other was like really cute and everything. And in the end, all I have to say, folks, is that it was good. It wasn't the best book I've ever read, but I'm really glad that I read it. And, you know, granted, not really a whole ton happened. Like, I wasn't completely glued to it, but definitely I was just like, I do kind of want to see what's gonna happen next. I kind of want to see. Um, but it just felt very like, I don't know, not completely flat, just like a little, you know, we're bobbing along quite nicely. We're not completely flat and we're not doing all this, but you know, it's just, it was fine. It was fine. It was grand. It was fine. And honestly, I would recommend it to people. Like if you're looking for a fantasy book that is not too hard to read and that is fun and that does, you know, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was cute. It was fine. And I will say the last couple hundred pages, I real was what made me bump it up from a 3, because originally I was gonna give it a 3 star because I was like, it's fine. It's nothing great. It's fine. But the last couple hundred pages did bump it up a lot for me. To give it a 4. Good solid 4 stars. It was good, it was fun, it was entertaining, it was easy to read, and honestly it you know, sometimes it's just what you need every now and then. But you know, that's all really I have to say about it. That's really all I have to say about it. So if you've read this, do you feel the same way I do? Did you enjoy it as much, or are you just like, yeah, it was cool, it was fine? I will read the sequel when it comes out. I do believe there is going to be a sequel. Does it say the back? No. August of this year. The sequel is coming out. It says it's advertised at the back of this book. So we don't have that long to wait for the sequel to come out. So that'll be fun. I will definitely be reading that, and hopefully it'll be a bit more thrilling, because there wasn't a whole ton going on in this one for most of it. But anyway, that's all I have to say. So on that note, I hope you're all doing okay. Hope you're doing well. And please, if you want to, you can follow me on all of my socials. They are down below as always. Blue Sky, Instagram Threads, what's it? TikTok. I nearly forgot about that one. TikTok, Or you can subscribe to this channel if you want. I would really love to get the 500 subscribers. That would be wonderful. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you want, even if you just want to say hi. But anyway, I'll leave you to it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.